What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you the top 3 cold email lead magnets that we've used in our campaigns and have brought us the best results. Obviously, they are going to be a little bit industry specific depending on the industry you work with, how you provide your service, what your unique mechanism is. But hopefully, you can take this idea and apply it to your business in whichever way you can. First off, before we get into the actual 3, I want to go over what is a lead magnet and what is not a good lead magnet, because a lot of people have a skewed perception of what a good lead magnet is. So, a lead magnet, by definition, is a material or a resource that you provide to a prospect or lead that your competition charges money for, and the prospect knows and understands that this thing that you're giving them is worth tangible money. Like literally, like if I took a dollar bill and I would have to hand them a few dollars, right? That's what it is about. And another thing that I would add to this that I didn't write down is that it's a scalable option that you can provide to people, right? So it's not too expensive where you're draining your whole resource of money, right? And trying to provide lead magnets, but it's also valuable enough that you can send at scale to, tens and hundreds of people every month, right? So that's the thing. Now, what is not a good lead magnet, right? A bad lead magnet is something that just is very generic. So, boring, basic strategy documents, free consultation calls worth like $500, right? Because your time is worth $500. Even though it may genuinely be worth $500, the prospect doesn't understand that, right? They don't see the direct value, right? Just because you get on a call with them for an hour doesn't mean they're technically that they got $500 worth of value, right? That's not the point. The point is that they actually have $500 or $100 worth of tangible value and something that they really need. Or another popular one that people try to use is free account audits. For example, like for Facebook ads. First of all, like you need to give access to your Facebook business account or your account, which is a big point of friction, right? You're just giving some random person who sent you an email access to your Facebook account. So that's a big turnoff for people. And also, like what are you gonna do in the account audit? Like, are you just gonna like write up a document and like give it to them? Like, you have no real credibility and there's no real value there. So that's why it's not the best lead magnet that you can go with. So let's get into the 3 examples, and I'm also gonna give you example scripts that we've used to actually pitch this lead magnet. So first one is a free lead list of 1,000 decision makers. It could be 100 decision makers. It could be 5,000 decision makers. This is just an example of what we used. Where we could literally spend maybe like $5 and a bit of time, and then send them that list. So basically, provide a prospect with a free custom lead list based on 2 things: either their case studies right on their website. So you would go in and check what case studies they have, check the companies of the case studies, and then build a lookalike list of that. Or you could just do a rough target market lead list of the best decision makers. And then obviously you can include in the email when you actually send it to them that this is just kind of a rough example based off of your website and who we think that you would target. Obviously we can change it up based on whoever you actually want to get in touch with. So an example script would be, hey, first name, if you're doing any cold outreach or looking to start, you'll find yourself trying to build a targeted lead list of decision makers that you can reach out to. I'll save you the trouble and build you a free lead list of 1,000 decision makers directly within company name's ideal client profile. Would that be useful? Signature. Okay, so it's straight to the point, addresses their pain point, and yeah, works like a charm. Next one is a free cold call script, which basically you can create a templated cold calling script where you just have a document with a few variables every so often with the prospect's name, prospect's email address, company name, where they service, for example. We use this one for real estate cold calling, so, it kind of made sense, but whichever cold calling you kind of do, it'll definitely be able to be templatized. And then you basically fill in their personal variables for each point, and it makes it super easy and scalable, and it's literally free, this one, but yeah. And an example script, are you the best person at company name to send a free cold calling script to that you can leverage to get 50 plus qualified leads every month? Let me know. I can write it up for you today even. Super conversational. P.S. This script framework we booked 72 calls with in a single month for another property manager, right? So this was for property management and cold calling. So you can kind of see how this can be used. Next is free video edits or creatives or designs if you're more of like a design-centric agency. So the key with this part is that the creatives and the edits and what you actually deliver to them, they actually have to be good. If they're not good, they're just not going to work. So like that's the hard part about this. And the same thing with the lead list and the cold calling script. The lead magnet actually has to have some sort of quality to it, right? So an example script is, I see UGC content, this is supposed to say, I see your UGC content isn't getting much traction. Could we get one of our top creators to make you a free UGC video package for you to test with, right? And then you would make 2 to 3, maybe even 5, depending on how much you're willing to spend to acquire this customer. Send them back those videos, right? And basically from there you have a much higher leverage on the sales call and much more credibility, right? You literally did something for free for them. So very important. These work very well. You can be very simple with the messaging, but you can also add a little bit of like complexity with, saying that, you can filter out using clay.com if they're making content on, Instagram, TikTok, or something like that. See the view count and kind of how much traction it's getting, and then see whether or not it's actually getting results or not, and then you can kind of personalize your message towards that. And then things to keep in mind, like I mentioned before, your lead magnet actually has to be good, right? If it's not a good lead magnet, if you send some bad edit or some terrible design, or it's not even like if it's just middle tier, it most likely might not work. Even though they aren't you paying for this yet, you should still put a lot of effort into it, right? So when we build a lead list, we build it the same way we would build it for a client, right? We still put a lot of effort. We still allocate, our best resources towards it to make sure that that lead list is still quality. Because if it's a bad lead list and they see it, they're just not going to respond anymore, right? So it only works if you have a good lead magnet, and the better the lead magnet, the better the conversions will be, right? So if you can give something very, very valuable, right, then they will value that a lot more than if you just gave a generic resource like a strategy document, a Loom video. No matter how informative it will be, it's just super basic, right? And then another thing to keep in mind is if you have a good lead magnet and everyone starts using it, it starts becoming a middle tier lead magnet, right? The only reason why a great lead magnet is a great lead magnet is because it's interesting and it's unique. Once those two factors go away, it's just a normal lead magnet. So those are some things to keep in mind. If you do own a B2B business and you are looking for leads for your pipeline and to fill it up and to actually have some sales calls going on a consistent basis, feel free to book a call below. And if you have any questions, let me know. Happy to help. And yeah, I hope you learned something from this video. Thanks.